So what happens if you want to buy a business and you've done my Business Buyer Advantage online course, of which there are now several hundred of you out there? What comes next if you want some more help from me? Hey there, everyone. It's David Barnett from davidcbarnett.com, the blog site, YouTube channel, iTunes, and SoundCloud podcast where I talk about buying, selling, managing, and financing small and medium-sized businesses. This week, I want to tell you a little bit something about a change in my program and something new that I'm doing. Last year, if you've been watching my old videos, you'll know that I launched a group program last fall that was a year-long program for people that wanted help to go and find a business that was not yet for sale, to locate those businesses, negotiate with those sellers, and make a deal. And what I learned from doing that program, and then later I did a couple of survey questions, and if you're on my email list, you would have been invited to those surveys back in March and February. What I learned from all of that were a few things. Number one, people didn't want to commit to a full year of time. But number two, people wanted the flexibility to come into the group program whenever they wanted. Now, for several years now, I've had another follow-on program to Business Buyer Advantage called The Next Step, which was a self-coaching sort of prep program that people would go through 12 modules and actually do a lot of work of getting a lot of information together to be prepared to then create a suspect list and a prospect list and go out and start meeting with these sellers. And so what I'm doing is I've reformatted things so that I'm combining The Next Step with a group coaching program that people can join at any time. And it's called Business Buyer Adventure, right? Because it's all about us going together on a journey through the jungle, looking for that elusive thing, which is the business that we want to buy. And we're going to help each other on the journey to go and find and buy these businesses. So if you are interested, there is a founder's special. First of all, the program is priced very reasonably. Basically, if you were to contact me and want to do one-on-one work with me, I would charge you about $150 an hour. So the price to be a member of the group is $147 a month. There's an annual option, which saves you a little bit of money. But in the first 2 weeks of launch, what I'm doing is I'm actually offering an even better deal for people that want to join so they can save a little bit of money. And you can apply that discount either to the monthly fee or the annual fee, which would compound with the discount that's already there. So if you think that you want to be a member of the group for a year, you can save even more. So basically, once you sign on to this program, there's a Gumroad product page, but then there's also a community. And when you get into the Gumroad product page, every month there's an updated user guide. And the user guide basically goes through all the different steps that you would go through to then catch up to speed if you're a new member with the people that are already in the group, and then join the accountability calls where we hold you to account on the commitments that you make as far as doing your work with prospects, suspects, etc. So if you want to learn more, there's a link down below which you can click. It'll give you the special pricing, but once you get to the Gumroad product page, there's actually a video there which explains all the different things that happen within Business Buyer Adventure. So number one, there's a community aspect. You'll get to meet and interact with the other people that are in the group. Number two, there's the accountability aspect where you work on your goal calls with me and the other members to make sure that you're moving forward all the time. There's also the special Q&A calls and special expert calls. So to kick things off, I had an expert come in and talk about commercial leases, and he broke some of the myths that are commonly held out there about commercial leases and what you can and can't negotiate. Additionally, one of the great things about the group coaching environment is that when members of the group have deals that they're working on, they'll be able to do calls with me, which, like I said, I normally would charge about $150 an hour to do those calls. The members of the group can come forward with their deal problems with me. We'll do it in a call that can then be shared with the other people in the group. So not only do group members learn from me, but they also learn from each other, which is one of the biggest advantages, of course, of being part of a group like this. So head on over to businessbuyeradvantage.com if you're watching this in the future. If you're watching it right now, go to the link down below. This Business Buyer Adventure program is the follow-on to Business Buyer Advantage. So if you haven't already, and this group sounds like something you want to do, take Business Buyer Advantage. It's the most economical way to spend 9.5 hours learning from me. It's going to give you the foundation of knowledge that you need to have in order to join the group program so that you'll be able to speak the same lingo that we're all talking. Anyway, thanks guys, and I know that for the people who volunteered their feedback back in the winter and early spring, I know some of you have been waiting for this, and now it's ready to go. So click the link below, and we'll talk to you next time. Thanks.